Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're talking all about sunproof beauty. I have recently fallen down a rabbit hole of makeup with SPF, and these items here have a lot of SPF with some tint. So we're going to do a full face of sunproof beauty basically because these are SPF with tints here and there to do a full look. I've curated a list of products here and I'll give you some pros and cons for a couple of them. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. These ice cubes make such a satisfying sound in the summer. Okay, so my concept here is SPF only. It's really doing a mostly full face with SPF because there are in fact quite a few makeup products with SPF in them. And this will be a great base or a great look for sweat-proof makeup, sun-proof makeup for when you want to look put together, but you really just want sun protection first and foremost. Okay, so first up are two items here that I have talked a lot about in the past few months and it's not going away. This is from Colorscience and these are their tinted SPF. It has a long name. It's called like the Face Shield Sunforgettable. This has an SPF of 50 and this is a tinted sunscreen. It's wonderful because when you see it at first, it looks white, but as soon as you blend it out, it really shows a skin tint. So it's wonderful for summer to just give you an even complexion, hide some imperfection, and give you excellent sun protection. So I have the shades medium and tan because tan is a little bit too tan, but medium is a little bit too sheer. So what I do is I mix them both, and to get a good amount of sun protection, you want at least 2 stripes like this. And I will go ahead and do my neck as well. So as you can see, it looks white, but as soon as you start to blend these out, you get a tint. I like to pass a little bit under the eyes as well because I want my under eye to get sun protection. And just doing that will also hide if you have dark circles, anything like that. If you have a breakout, you can just concentrate a little bit more and you get sun protection. And it's so quick, it's so easy, and it looks, I don't want to say it looks like makeup, but it looks like some sort of coverage, you know? It doesn't just look like a transparent sunscreen, and sometimes I do want nothing on my skin, so I will just use an SPF, like a clear one. I really love the vitamin C one from Paula's Choice. That one is an excellent, clear, transparent SPF. That one has 0 cast, absolutely 0. Doesn't matter where you fall on the shade spectrum, 0 cast whatsoever. There's also this one here from Shiseido. This one is also transparent, also wonderful. So it just depends on the day if I want more of a makeup look or not. This sunscreen has a soft velvet finish. It doesn't look shiny. This is about as shiny as it gets, really. It dries down to like a soft velvet, slightly powdery finish. So if you're worried about shine, about oil, it's really great for that, and you can reapply during the day. It doesn't, I mean, it's sunscreen. It looks like makeup, but it's actually sunscreen, so you don't have to worry about it rolling or pilling. Now, next up are concealers. So I've been sneaking around and trying out different concealers with SPF. I have one from Colorscience as well. It's the Totale 3-in-1 Renewal Eye Care here. This one has an SPF of 35 and you have a little pump like this, but I have to warn you, do not push down all the way. A full pump, it's way too much product. You're never going to need that much. And the other one is from Jane Iredale. And this one here is also an SPF of 30. So you have an SPF of 30 or 35. Both of them have a similar type of spout. So what I do, well, I guess you could technically apply them directly. They feel cooling, which is nice, But usually what I do is I just go like this, and then I collect it here. That is a lot of concealer, but we're going to do that. And then I'm going to use Jane Iredale on the other side here. And you'll see Jane Iredale is a much thicker product. I would say the biggest difference I've noticed is the texture. Jane Iredale is it's not a paste, but it's a thicker concealer, whereas the one from Colorscience is a fluid, runny concealer, and Jane Iredale is a bit more solid. Both of these have color options. So in Colorscience, I am in the shade medium, and then in Jane Iredale, I used the shade called Neutral Peach. I like something with a bit more peachiness to it, but you can see here on the skin, just before I apply, they look similar, but there is a subtle difference. So I'll go ahead and just blend these out here for you. And you can see that this one looks a little bit more fluid. Again, this is Colorscience over here. You could blend this out with a fingertip if you wanted to, but I'm using a brush to feel fancy. And this is the Refer B05 cream brush here. One thing about SPF and getting the proper coverage is you need to use the right amount. I'm not certain how much concealer I'm meant to use to get the color protection, the sun protection, because in order to guarantee sun protection, you need to use the amount that they recommend. That's why I took the Colorscience tinted SPF up here, because my thought was the pump here for Colorscience, if you do like one pump naturally, it's a lot of product. And I wonder if that's how much product you're meant to use in order to get that sun protection. And I don't actually want to have a thick layer of concealer. So that's why I used the skin tint up here and the concealer on top as well. It's just something to keep in mind because some people think a little bit goes a long way. As far as sunscreen goes, a little bit goes a long way does not exist. You need copious amount of sunscreen to get the actual protection. So this is both of these SPF concealers blended out. Let me know which one you prefer, Colorscience or Jane Iredale. I personally have a slight preference for Jane Iredale. I prefer the texture. It's a little bit thicker, and I find that the coverage or the color has a little bit of peach to it. So I just find that it sort of covers and lifts a little bit more. However, perhaps the Colorscience is more natural. It has a little bit less of a makeup-y look to it. I think both together, side by side, look very close. Let me know how it looks on camera, because sometimes in person and on camera it looks a little bit different. But I think in person, no one will really tell the difference. Just for me, I think I prefer the Jane Iredale side. Hi, it's me from the future. I just wanted to show you a wear test. It's been about 5 or 6 hours since I did the initial application. So this side here is Jane Iredale, and then this is Colorscience. I think that this side here, the Jane Iredale, runs a little bit more of a risk of looking crepey because it is a little bit thicker. I think as the day wears, I think Colorscience actually wears a bit nicer and looks more natural. I don't notice anything like looking too cakey or crepey, but I think that this side has more potential to do so. I just wanted to let you know. Let me show you a difference in texture. So the Colorscience one, that's what a pump looks like. And it's more fluid. You can see it running a little bit. And this is Jane Iredale here. It's more solid. It doesn't really move. It doesn't really budge. And one thing to note, for me here in Montreal, the Colorscience was $106 Canadian, and Jane Iredale was $68.50. So Jane Iredale is half the price for me here in Montreal than Colorscience. Moving on to a little bit of color, I also picked up one of the Colorscience Sun Forgettable Balms. These are like a lip and cheek product. I guess you could put it on the eyes as well. It's basically a blush stick like this. It twists up. It reminds me of a mini deodorant a little bit, you know, just the shape and the mechanism here. There are a few colors to choose from, but I went with Pink Sky. I just thought that this would be a very universal and easy to use color. And I have to say that I'm really impressed with the opacity. There is a lot of color payoff on this right away. So what I like to do is I like to warm up the product. I like to load it up on the back of my hand here using a cream brush, the Refer B04. Just pick up everything that I want here. There are many colors to choose from, pinks, peaches, bronzy shades, and then I just apply. This has an SPF of 50. You do get sun protection in it because it has SPF, but it's really the base beforehand that gives you the most sun protection, and this is just like a little bit added. I'm going to take a little bit of this pink here and apply it on my lips. I cheated by adding some regular mascara. This is the Valentino one. I'm not aware of any mascaras with SPF. Quite frankly, I can't think of anything worse because getting SPF in your eyes is the worst thing ever. So no merci. I'm going to add a little bit of gloss. This is from Colorscience as well. They have a lip gloss series with SPF and an SPF of 35. This is the shade called Pink. This is a very pretty color. I like the pink. It's very pink. I wanted something to match the blush. The texture is nice. It's thick, but not too thick. It's not too runny either. I swear it has some sort of like plumping, tingly sensation. Very, very mild, but it's there. However, there's a smell. The smell is weird. It's like, I think they must have added something to mask that like SPF smell. I swear it has like a whiff of Play-Doh. I swear there's like a Play-Doh scent to it. So be mindful of that. Yeah. Now, this in itself is a great sun-proof look. You're protected by the sun, obviously. Apply sunscreen to the rest of your face and body, and don't forget your ears as well, very important. But I was also experimenting with not layers, but setting sprays or spray SPF or powder SPF. So the spray SPF that I've been testing out, one is from Kate Somerville and one is from Sunbum. Now with the Kate, I forgot how loud it is. There's some sort of little metal bead inside. This one, the Kate Somerville, is SPF 50 and Sunbum is 45. So the Kate Somerville, I have used this in the past and I thought that I liked it, but I've noticed that when you apply it, this picks up on any texture. If you have peach fuzz, if you have facial hair of any kind, this picks up so much. It really just emphasizes any and all peach fuzz you may have. So if you have skin texture, do not get this one. I don't think it's a good idea. I do really like this one from Sunbum. It smells so good. It smells like coconut, it smells like pineapple, it smells like the beach. This one will give you a little bit more shine, way more shine than I'm sporting now. If you have very oily skin, you may not enjoy this because it's really just going to be very shiny, and there is a very pronounced scent. It's coconut, it's beach bum is what it smells like. Like it smells like you live on the beach, which I like, but it may not be for everyone. I have this one here from IDC. It's the Solace SPF 50. So this one here, it's a Canadian brand. It's like a dermatological skincare brand. It's not really readily available. They did send this to me. This is the shade, it has a shade, there's a color here, light. I think light is maybe a little bit too light for me, but this brand here is not really something you find readily available. It's more something you'd see like at an esthetician's clinic, something like that. So you have your tinted SPF powder down here, and then you knock it out like this, and then you apply. I like it, but I find that the color light is maybe a little bit too light for me. The winner for me for reapplying SPF if I'm wearing makeup like this would be the IS Clinical. This is an SPF of 40, and it's a powder SPF, so you have the cartridge here, and you can actually buy refills. You can change different colors depending on the season, and you twist it like this, and then you knock it like this, and you collect the powder, and then you simply reapply. I have purchased countless refills of this. You buy this once and it comes with 2 colors, like 2 cartridges, and then after that you can just buy the refills. I have purchased, I think maybe 5 or 6 cartridges, just, I don't know, over the years. It's just something that I've really enjoyed, and I've repurchased over the summer months, and I was gonna say summer years, but over the summers I've repurchased them, and I like that it's very small. This fits in a fanny pack, a small like crossbody bag. It fits in a bigger purse. It's just very, very transportable. And I like that it's powder, because even though that I have dry, dehydrated skin, in the summer I get quite shiny. So the spray sunscreens to reapply, these work. They do wear well over top of makeup. You could wear like an actual full face of makeup and spray this on top and it would work. But if you want something a little bit more mattifying, I would say go with the IS Clinical, because it's a powder sunscreen. So you get the sun protection, you're reapplying sun protection, but you're also powdering a little bit at the same time. So I think that about does it for my sunproof SPF makeup only look. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you've made it to the end of the video, leave a little sun emoji in honor of the sunshine today. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, which I know many of you who watch me are not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. We do tons of reviews, tons of makeup comparisons, and I do lots of tutorials as well with new and old collections. I like to mix and match. So it'll give you ideas at home on how to use up what you have before buying anything new. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.